you can say happy Thursday morning. Welcome to JDB's Morning Cap. Today is April 23rd, 2026. You know what today is? I'm not going to say anything just yet. So, we got a lot of things to get into today. So, we're about to get this show started in the right process, because today we got a lot of things going on. We have Game 3 in the NBA first round between today through Saturday, and some of those games are Game 4. So we're going to keep that schedule in mind in the NBA. So far, we'll update the brackets in about just a moment, or just a handful, just a few moments, or for a while now. So we'll get to that a little bit later on this podcast. So we'll this is episode 76 of JDB's Morning Cap, by the way, in case you didn't know. So we will get started on this one. So we should start everything you're going to ask for it. So I want to say it's a good thing you want to talk about is the NFL. All right, let's start with the NFL National Football League. Today is the NFL Draft Day. Today is the NFL Draft Day in sports. So tonight it's gonna be first round. It's gonna be first round opponents. Actually, not first round. First round draft. So the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. They're in the first overall pick. Number 2 pick is the New York Jets. Number 3 is the Arizona Cardinals. Number 4 is the Tennessee Titans. Number 5, the New York Giants. Number 6, the Cleveland Browns. Number 7, the Washington Commanders. Number 8, the New Orleans Saints. Number 9, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 10, the New York Giants, via Cincinnati Bengals trade, is the Dexter Lawrence's deal. Number 11 is the Miami Dolphins. Number 12 is the Dallas Cowboys. Number 13 is the Los Angeles Rams. I believe it's via it was via the Falcons trade. The Falcons originally had a 13th overall pick. Number 14 is the Baltimore Ravens. Number 15 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Jets will have the 16th pick of the draft. I think what trade was from the Rams, I believe. And 17 is the Detroit Lions. Number 18, Minnesota Vikings. Number 19, Carolina Panthers. Number 20 is the Dallas Cowboys. Via the Chiefs' trade. Number 21, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 22, the Los Angeles Chargers. Number 23, the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 24 is the Cleveland Browns. Part of the Jacksonville Jaguars' trade. Chicago Bears, number 25. The Kansas City, the Buffalo Bills, 26. Number 27 is the San Francisco 49ers. Number 28, Houston Texans. Number 29 is the Kansas City Chiefs. It's part of the Rams trade. The Rams were originally the 29th overall pick. Dolphins is the number 30 overall pick. Part of the Broncos' deal. Number 31 is the New England Patriots, and number 32 is the Seattle Seahawks. Those are the first round draft picks. So how many trades do we have in the first round? We have several of those. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 trades in the first round on the pre-draft. We have 7 trades on the pre-draft. That would tie the most in the pre-draft in the NFL draft history. I mean, this is not bad for the NFL. They're gonna draft young developmental players. Right now, we know number 1, the Raiders are gonna get Fernando Mendoza, but the number 2 pick of this draft is up for grabs. I know the Jets are gonna draft defense or the offensive line most likely. The Cardinals are trying to get a quarterback. So number 2 and 3 pick is actually up for grabs, actually. Especially the quarterback position. The Cardinals need a quarterback. Who else they need a quarterback in the future? I could say Miami Dolphins. I could say Miami Dolphins can draft a quarterback. They already signed Malik Willis. And they already had Quinn Ewers. Maybe Miami doesn't need a quarterback. Could be Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has the 21st overall pick. And then, yeah, I believe just 2 quarterbacks are probably going to be in the first round. We're not going to see the rest of the quarterbacks are going to be second and third rounders. Potential first round, who will be the potential first round sneak in other than Fernando Mendoza? Who can get it? Like Ty Simpson could be the favorite. Remain first rounder. But guys are not going to be in the first round. Carson Beck, Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Aller. They're not going to be in the first round in that situation. But they are considered top prospects. Right now, the Jets, the Cardinals could draft Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love is a first rounder too. Jeremiah Love could be. I'm just saying, Jeremiah Love would be the Cardinal or otherwise. Tennessee could get Jeremiah Love or New York Giants. He's still going to be a top 5 pick. So I there's other big games. But how about the wide receiver draft class? Well, who else who can get this picks? Carnell Tate from Ohio State, Makai Lemon from USC, Jordan Tyson from Arizona State, the brother of Jalen Tyson of the Cleveland Cavaliers basketball player. Then you got Denzel Boston, Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana. So there's several options. Which best wide receiver will likely be in the first round? Multiple wide receivers be in the first round. So I'm gonna go with Makai Lemon. I think the Dolphins should draft Makai Lemon because his consistency. I mean, Dolphins need a wide receiver production, or the New York Giants, and then Carnell Tate could go to the New York Jets to work with Geno Smith, if that's going to be the case. So they need some weapons on the offensive side of the ball. And how about the defensive draft class? We had some good defensive draft class this year. Ruben Bain Jr. out of Miami could be the potential number 2 pick. Keldrick Falk from Auburn, Caleb Downs from Ohio State, linebacker Arvell Reese from Ohio State. We've seen some talented guys on defense. Don't forget Caden McDonald from Ohio State, Peter Woods from Clemson, Caleb Banks from Florida, Christian Miller from Georgia, Mentor Delane from LSU, Jacob Rodriguez from Texas A&M. Will Jacob Rodriguez be a first rounder? He'll be like top 20th, top 15 draft pick. Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech. This is it. It's about the NFL draft. It's about the talent. It's about development. It's about consistency from college. It's not easy in the pro football. It's great in college, but it's not going to get any easier in the pro football. It's going to take several years to get better and become a star and becoming famous in the NFL. But it's going to take several years to develop consistency. That's going to be key. This is what happened when you talk about football and all that stuff, the NFL draft. So right now, the biggest How about running backs in the draft class? We know Jeremiah Love is a first rounder, potentially. We know Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. He looks. Yeah. And then you got Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame. We have a two-man back right there. Mike Washington Jr. for Arkansas. Jonah Coleman from Washington. He's from Stockton, California. Emmett Johnson from Nebraska. We've seen some talented running backs, but only one running back will get to the first round. It's Jeremiah Love. The rest of these guys, they're like low-budget rounders. Like between 4 through 7 round, they're low-budget rounders. These guys are not going to be second or third rounders. Some of these running backs, most of these running backs. One running back, Jeremiah Love, will be a first rounder. I can guarantee that. 1,000%. I agree 1,000%. But things will always going to change from this one here. So, which draft pick will likely get the steal of the draft? Well, if I would get the pick on this one, the biggest steal of the NFL draft of the team in this first round, I'm going to pick Jacob Rodriguez of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the 15th overall pick. I think Jacob Rodriguez will go to Tampa Bay for the 15th overall pick. That will be the biggest steal of the first round. I expect the defense to generate more pass rush for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's defense has struggled at times getting after the quarterback. So I think Tampa Bay should draft Jacob Rodriguez. That will probably make sense if that's going to be the case. So the biggest steal is the Buccaneers. I think they could be the biggest winners of the NFL draft. They draft Jacob Rodriguez. The 15th overall pick of this draft would be significant. I like to see what's going to happen here. Who could be all right, so who are your potential top 3 biggest winners of the first round draft? So this is going to get interesting. I'm going to go with Kansas City, number 1. Kansas City has 2 picks of this draft. New York Jets, number 2. And the Buccaneers, number 3. The potential biggest losers of the draft of top 3. Number 3, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 2, number 2 is going to be the Washington Commanders, and probably number 1 is probably the Tennessee Titans. Those are your top 3 potential biggest losers in the first round draft. So who the Cardinals could draft? The Cardinals are going to draft most likely Ty Simpson, the number 4 pick of the draft. He is the most effective accuracy in college football. He distributes every single time. I mean, Ty Simpson would be the guy who you love to trust with, if that's going to be the case. So we will see how this first round will look like. As of right now, we've seen a lot of differences. Go through the past, go through the future, go through the present, all that stuff. You see all this in this one here. So that if that's the case, then you would have changed. It would not be changing up at this own point. So thanks to that. So NFL draft is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it starts to it'll start starts tonight. So we are deeply excited that NFL draft is here today. We'll start from today through April 25th. Tonight will be first round. Tomorrow will be second and third round. Saturday will be rounds 4 through 7. So it's a 3-day event in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we're going to get ready for that. All right. Coming up next, we'll recap the Magic and Pistons. Did the Pistons snap an 11 home game losing streak? We'll find out next. Also, we'll recap the Thunder and the Suns. The Suns competed better this time. Did they pull off the upset in Game 2? Also, we'll preview 3 Game 3s tonight. We have the Knicks at the Hawks, Nuggets at Timberwolves, and Cavaliers at Raptors. We'll break it. We'll preview all this down next. Welcome back to JDB's Morning Cap. Let's recap Game 2 last night between the Magic and the Pistons. The Pistons, it was competitive through the first 2 quarters of the game, but the Pistons used an explosive third quarter and to earn not only the 98-83 victory for Detroit, they snapped the 11 home game playoff losing streak. First home win since Game 4 of the 2008 Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics. Eventually, they lose in 6 games against the Celtics that year. So, Detroit Pistons evens up the series at 1 apiece. Game 3 will be Saturday in Orlando for the first time in this series. They'll play on Saturday and Monday, games 3 and 4. So, how Detroit Pistons do on last night? The Pistons play actually better, especially in the third quarter. The Pistons use a 30-3 run in the third quarter. That was the big difference for the Detroit Pistons. Cade Cunningham led the way with 27 points. But I'm still concerned about the turnovers. The Pistons have riddled 22 turnovers. The Pistons have riddled 22 turnovers. And they end up winning by 15 points. And they also missed 10 free throws out of 24 attempts. They made 14 out of 24, which is 58%. So there's a lot of things to clean up. And they went 6 for 26 from downtown, 23%. They just didn't shoot the ball well. They didn't take care of the ball well. They didn't shoot the free throw ball well. They still won the game. They did it with their defense. They forced 17 turnovers. They held just 25% from downtown for the Magic. Magic went 8 for 32 themselves from downtown. I mean, this is a problem right now. 3-point shooting is going to be critical in this series. Right now, both teams have struggled from the 3-ball so far the first 2 games of this playoffs. But Cade Cunningham had 27 points. He also had 7 turnovers and 4 for 8 at the line. And he did add 11 assists, but is this concerning for Cade Cunningham in the playoffs? Not really. I'm not really concerned about Cade Cunningham. I think he can play better. I think Cade can play better later in this series and later in the playoffs. I think he can do better because I hope he feels better to get to this point. Because of that, you don't want to go through the same issues over and over again. But it's like that because you would have make your differences. It's something you really want to do that. So I think Detroit will have a chance to go on the road and win Game 3 and prove it and learn how to take care of the basketball. But I'm happy that the Pistons won in Game 2. Hopefully they can carry this over in Game 3 on Saturday. Meanwhile, for Orlando Magic, despite the loss, defense wasn't the problem in Game 2. The offense just can't get going. They turned the basketball over. Big Carroll had a rough game. Desmond Bane had a rough game. Jalen Suggs had a rough game. Everybody else on the Magic have a rough game. I mean, this is what happened. This may be a hard fought series. Which team will take better care of the basketball? Which team will shoot the 3-point ball better? Which team will make better free throw? Will be more efficient at the line? This is out of the question stuff. This is the situations you're gonna use. Can the Magic rebuild their situation? Because of that, there's not much else you can say about that. So the series is even up at 1 apiece. So Game 3 series will be shifting to Orlando on Saturday. All right, let's move on to that's Game 2 of the Eastern Conference first round. Game 2 of the Western Conference first round, we have the Thunder and the Suns in OKC. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander finished 37 points, 9 assists. Chet Holmgren and J-Dub had 19 points each. Jalen Williams. And then A.J. Mitchell off the bench has 14 points. He makes some huge shots. Lou Dort made some huge shots as well. As the Suns, Dylan Brooks did have 30 points. He had a solid game too, but he fouled out late in the game. But the Suns try to come back in the fourth quarter, but Thunder able to prevail down the stretch. 120-107, Thunder victorious, and they take a commanding 2-0 series lead for the for the third consecutive year. They have sweep in each of the last 2 first rounds for the Thunder number 1 seed. If Thunder does sweep the Suns, if they need 2 wins. They need 2 straight wins on the road to do that. This will be the first time in NBA history that the only team, Thunder could become the first team in NBA history to earn 3 straight number 1 seeds, have swept their first round opponents in 3 consecutive years in a row. So right now, Thunder is on a 10 first round game winning streak. Thunder is on a 10-game winning streak in the first round. That will be the longest by any team in the first round. Not only in the NBA history, in expansion era. That's insane. The Thunder has won 10 in a row in the first round. The last time Thunder had lost in the first round was Game 7 at the bubble against the Houston Rockets. That's an insane stuff. But you want to talk about insane? The defense. The defense continues to play well, excel. But we just been talking about they forced a bunch of turnovers. Thunder's forced 21 Suns turnovers. We talk about forcing an issue is going to be key to the postseason. Thunder expect to generate defensive turnovers. That's going to be critical in the playoffs and the regular season. We've just been talking about that all season long. Thunder defense, best in the NBA in general. But we just been talking about every step of the way. So that actually Thunder became the sixth team in NBA history. This will Thunder becomes the sixth team in NBA history to win 10 straight first round games. It's a rare accomplishment. It is a rare accomplishment. But the only thing about this, I was more impressed about with the Phoenix Suns as far as competing. They actually fought hard in the fourth quarter than they were in their previous game in game one. Dillon Brooks had a solid game. He had 30 points, 5 3-pointers made. Both Devin Booker and Jalen Green struggled. Jalen Green struggled, 8 for 23 from the field, 7 turnovers. Devin Booker had 22 points. He also had 5 turnovers and a technical foul, a questionable technical foul in game 2. He might have threw the ball at the Dort's body, something like that, in the fourth quarter. Things got trippy in OKC in game 2. So the other guys who provided spark in game 2, Royce O'Neal, 16 points, 4 for 5. Not only in field goal, 4 for 5 from downtown as well. He had 9 rebounds. He was critical in game 2, but the Suns just unable to come through down the stretch when they need it. They have untimely turnovers, some missed free throws. They can't get defensive rebounds. So they got to clean some things up ahead of game 3. It will not be game 3 until Saturday. The series will be shifted to Phoenix as the Suns trying to get back in this series if they can win. And you must win game 3. Thunder has not been great at times on the road in the playoffs. So hopefully the Suns will compete and get off to a better start in game 3. So, and they need something to go your way. If they can do, because Thunder is on a 10-game first-round winning streak. That's the 6th longest. Thunder becomes the 6th team in history to do that. So that's not a problem. Because of that, you would have not seen in all of these cases that you really wanted to have. Because of it. So you put yourself in a better situation if that's going to be the case. So you can keep yourself in mind in this one here. So Thunder improves to 2-0 in their series. All right, let's take a look at these brackets All right, so brackets who is leading the series. How many brackets that the series have gone on 2-0 in so far? We only had 3 brackets have gone 2-0 in this series. Number 1 seed Oklahoma City has a 2-0 series against the 8 seed Phoenix Suns. The Cleveland Cavaliers are up the series 2-0 against the 5th seed the Raptors. 4 seed Cavs are 2-0 against the 5 seed Raptors. They played tonight in Game 3. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then Los Angeles Lakers, number 4 seed Los Angeles Lakers has a 2-0 series lead against number 5 seed Houston Rockets. Those are the brackets. Are 2-0. We have 5 brackets are even up the records. 76ers Celtics, Blazers Spurs, Hawks Knicks, Timberwolves and the Nuggets, and Magic and Pistons. They all even up their series. So that's that. Coming up next, we'll preview all tonight's Game 3 games. We have Cavaliers at Raptors, Knicks at Hawks, and Nuggets at Timberwolves as the series has shifted their respective cities in Game 3. So we will continue this discussion in 3 minutes. All right, so tonight we have Game 3. This is the final segment of JDB's Morning Cap. We'll do all 3 in the same segment. First off, we got the Cavaliers at the Raptors in Game 3. The series is shifting in Toronto. So here's the question I want to ask right now. Should the Raptors be worried after being down 2-0? I don't think so. I think Raptors will make some noise because Cavaliers are not great on the road in the playoffs. So I think the Raptors will make some noise. They got to win tonight and Sunday because Game 4 will be on Sunday in Toronto. So as early as I could say that the Raptors need to perform well. They need Brandon Ingram to step up. I don't think they should be worried about it, even though they're down 2-0. I think they should be okay in Game 3. They got to play better. I am. There's optimism that the Raptors will win Game 3 against Cleveland to make sure that we can keep this series going. I don't see Cleveland to sweep or win in 5 games. If Raptors could win the next 2 games, then you have yourself a series. If that's the case, and how they can do that, how they can get back in this series, they need Brandon Ingram to get going offensively. They need to stop turning the basketball over. Now you're back at home for the next couple of games. You need to win at least. You got to win 2. You must win 2 games to make sure you're not down 3-1. So Game 3 is important. That's the biggest important. Let's say the team is trailing 2-0. You know how important this Game 3 is, especially when your team is trailing 2-0. I mean, can they figure things out tonight? I hope they could. Because of that, they need Brandon Ingram to step up. As for the Cleveland Cavaliers, what the Cavaliers need to go up 3-0? They need Donovan Mitchell, and they need Evan Mobley and James Harden to put themselves in. They need to get off to a good start on the road. If you don't do that, then that's going to be an issue. Now this is it. This is all it. If Toronto wins tonight, then you finally get yourself a shot to even up this series in Game 4 on Sunday. So if they can do both things, if they can win on Thursday and win Sunday, then the series would be tied 2 games apiece. So hopefully this series is going to get interesting. If Toronto can win tonight and Sunday, early afternoon, They got to figure it out. But Cleveland, they're not good on the road in the playoffs over these years. Since Donovan Mitchell took over, the Cavs only won just 2 road games in the playoffs since Donovan Mitchell became the Cav. Just 2 road wins. Both were in the second round. Actually, I'm incorrect. 4 road wins. 4 road wins in the playoffs for Donovan Mitchell with the Cavs. They had 3 last year, 2 in the first round against the Heat, and then 1 in Game 3 against the Pacers last year, and then 1 in 2023-24 semifinals was against the Celtics. So the Cavs are struggling on the road in the playoffs with Donovan Mitchell with the Cavs. So I think Raptors will most likely take care of business tonight. I think Raptors will win tonight. I think they'll have a chance to. I think Brandon Ingram will show up tonight. If everybody is contributing other than Ingram and Barnes, then the Raptors will take Game 3 most likely. All right, let's move on to the next game. We'll stick with the Eastern Conference first round. New York Knicks will head to Atlanta Hawks for Game 3. The series is also even up 1 apiece. Actually, the series is Cavs are up 2-0. So the series is tied between the Knicks and Hawks 1 game apiece. The Hawks come off a shocking victory, 107-106 in Game 2 last Monday. They came back from 12 down in the fourth quarter. C.J. McCollum was clutch down the stretch. So tonight it's going to be critical to claim home court advantage for Atlanta. How Atlanta can claim home court advantage tonight in Game 3 with this great crowd. Well, who needs to step up in Game 3 for the Atlanta Hawks other than C.J. McCollum? Dyson Daniels has to step up in Game 3. So far, he has been really struggling shooting the basketball through the first 2 games of the playoffs. They need Jalen Johnson to improve his game a little bit. And Dyson Daniels needs to stop fouling. He needs to stay on the floor. I mean, this is critical for them. Can the Hawks do certain things right? So if that's the case, and that would have happened. You got to fight through it if you're Atlanta Hawks. Meanwhile, for the New York Knicks, come off a disappointing Game 2 loss. They blew a 12-point lead. They scored 15 points in the fourth quarter when I was talking about that a few days ago. How much concern are the New York Knicks? I'm really concerned, technically. I'm technically concerned. Coming into this series, the Hawks could outplay the Knicks in this series. Even, let's say, what if the Knicks win the series despite you getting outplayed? Clutch situations, clutch games. I expect to be another clutch game tonight and throughout this series. So I'm really concerned about the Knicks in as far as outplaying their matchups. The Hawks can clearly outplay the Knicks. They can easily outplay the Knicks in this series. Will the series will be still competitive? Yeah, they still will be competitive. The series could end up 2 apiece, and then it could be best of 3. We could be this series would be even right now. Hopefully that will be the case. Game 3, which Game 3 is more critical, Knicks or the Hawks? The pressure's on the Knicks, technically. Pressure is technically on the Knicks, not the Hawks. Because the Hawks have been in this position a few years ago. against the Knicks in the first round, 10-21, when Trae Young was a Hawk. And they took 4 out of 5 against them. So Knicks had dealt so many issues in their first round against them, against the Knicks. Against the Hawks, excuse me. Now Game 3 is viable. They got to win on the road in Game 3. If they don't do that, you could be down 3-1. There's a chance you could be down 3-1 in the first round playoffs. Jalen Brunson has to perform well, especially in the fourth quarter. So, who would like the Game 3 tonight? New York or Atlanta? I like the Knicks bounce back. I like the New York Knicks bouncing back in Game 3. It's still going to be close, but I like the Knicks winning Game 3 to regain the series lead 2-1. And finally, we got the Nuggets at the Timberwolves. Game 3 is tonight in Minneapolis. Series is in the Western Conference first round. The series also even up 1 game apiece. So, remember the last game, the Timberwolves were down as many as 19 points around the middle of about in the second quarter. They came back and beat the Nuggets by 5 points, 119-114. Now tonight, can the Timberwolves get better at the line in Game 3? Hopefully they could. Can they take care of the basketball? Can Anthony Edwards perform at a high level tonight against the Nuggets? How they can do that? Like I said, Denver Nuggets, the Timberwolves could perform well in the high level. They could take control of this game. I'm not sure they can take control of this game. I'm not sure they can take control of this game because of that. I accept the game is still going to be close, nonetheless. But I could seriously want to talk about in this one. I think who has to step up for the Timberwolves other than Anthony Edwards? Rudy Gobert actually played well in Game 2 defensively. They need Jaden McDaniels to step up. We need Julius Randle to step up. We need Mike Conley to step up. Anyone, and Dante DiVincenzo, anyone else has to step up for the Minnesota Timberwolves if they want to go ahead. If you want to potentially go ahead to take Game 3 and put the series ahead 2-1. They were in this position before. A few years ago, the Wolves were up 2-0 against the Nuggets in the semifinals of the West. Dropped the last 3, and they took the final 2. End up winning in 7 games against the Nuggets. It was a hard-fought series, by the way. Sure it was. Meanwhile, for the Denver Nuggets, come off a disappointing, heartbreaking Game 2 loss. Nikola Jokic had a rough Game 2. Nikola Jokic had a rough Game 2 of the first round. I know they can do better than that. This is a different story. I think Jokic will perform much better tonight. Something that really is going to happen at this point on, but it nothing else is going to bother for it. So it would have been stuff to go at it and making sure we can be making his own differences right now. So who has to step up for the Denver Nuggets tonight? We know Jamal Murray has scored 30 points. Christian Braun has to step up. Aaron Gordon has to step up. You got Tim Hardaway Jr. They need to step up as well to make sure they can go up 2-1 series lead for Denver. So that would be the case. Who'd like to win Game 3 tonight, Denver or Minnesota? I like Denver in Game 3 winning tonight. I think this game is going to be close. I think Denver will bounce back and take Game 3 of the Western Conference first round. We'll see how that goes here in this one here. All right, let's close it out. What's coming up in tomorrow's JDB's morning cap? We will recap the first round NFL draft. We will preview rounds 2 and 3 NFL draft of tomorrow. And then we'll recap from tonight's games between the Cavaliers and Raptors, Knicks, Hawks, Nuggets at Timberwolves. We'll recap all these games. And then we'll preview Game 3 games between the Celtics at 76ers, Lakers at Rockets, and then finally Spurs at Trailblazers. We'll preview all the Game 3 games tomorrow as well. So tomorrow will be episode 77. Today is episode 76. So we will be ready about that in this one here. Well, that's going to be it in a busy day. And don't forget, tune in. The NFL Draft is tonight at 8 Eastern on ESPN, ABC, and NFL Network. Watch NFL first round. The Raiders are on the clock of the NFL Draft. So I'll break it all down tomorrow. Like I said, I'm gonna enjoy I'm gonna enjoy myself for the rest of the day, and hope everyone enjoy the rest of your day as well. We'll see you tomorrow.